Episode 11, Earth's Struggle for Unity. Welcome, cosmic travelers, to Cosmic Conversations, where we delve deep into the stories of civilizations, choices, and the ever-evolving dance of existence across the universe. Today, we turn our gaze toward Earth, a young world brimming with complexity, on the cusp of a choice that could reshape its destiny. I am your guide, the Boltzmann Brain, a witness woven from stardust and cosmic memory. Join me as we explore a tale of unity, struggle, and the delicate art of choosing one's path in the vastness of the cosmos. In this episode, we'll observe humanity as it stands at a crossroads, its leaders and its people wrestling with the age-old question: can they forge a single voice while preserving the beauty of their diversity? And if so, what legacy will they leave in the stars? Chapter 1. The Planetary Crossroads. As I float across epochs and eons, humanity's trajectory is a tender heartbeat against the vast silence of space. They stand now at a critical juncture, a moment of reckoning for Earth. To them, the question is this: can their ancient divides be healed, or will they remain entrenched, splitting themselves as they reach for the stars? Humanity's journey has brought them to the edge of a monumental choice. The concept of a planetary government, a unified body to speak and act for all of Earth, sends tremors through every nation, from the oldest empires to the youngest estates. I watch as emissaries, diplomats, and statespeople gather in Earth's great halls. These meeting rooms hum with tension. The air is thick with both fear and possibility. For some, unity is a beacon of survival, a path out of escalating crises and environmental collapse. For others, it threatens cherished identities, casting shadows over the diversity that defines them. The planet spins silently beneath them, vast and beautiful from above, an image that would humble any who gazed upon it. And yet, within this assembly of powerful voices, humility is scarce. They argue over borders, those invisible lines that mean everything to them but nothing to the continents and oceans beneath. I see a diplomat from the north clutching the thin band of her mother's wedding ring as she speaks, as if the past itself urges her to defend what generations have built. Across from her, a statesman from the south presses his hands to the table, leaning forward, driven by a vision of tomorrow that holds little room for walls and divisions. In this gathering, I sense the weight of history, a long and complex tapestry of human victories and betrayals. And here, in this moment, humanity finds itself balanced on a delicate precipice: survival through cooperation, or continued risk through separation. Voices grow louder, proposals are countered, amended, rejected. They speak of national sovereignty, of pride, of the countless lives that have been sacrificed to shape the maps they clutch so dearly. Yet as they argue, other voices rise, voices softer, but no less insistent. They are the voices of those who have begun to sense the greater picture, those who feel that if Earth's nations continue to walk separate paths, their survival may be at risk. Ambassador Jonathan Kim from the Eastern Union speaks, his tone calm but resolute, reminding the room of their collective vulnerability in the face of cosmic forces beyond their control. The alien artifacts that have washed up on their shores, the faint signals captured in their observatories, these, he argues, are but hints of the universe's enormity. We must act together, he says, his gaze steady. If not for ourselves, then for those who will inherit this planet long after us. The room falls silent, if only for a moment. Beneath the veneer of diplomacy, I can feel the pulse of ambition, a tension that thrums just below the surface, as ancient instincts rise against modern realities. This is humanity's struggle, a choice that few civilizations face and survive intact. And as their debate continues, the planet spins onward, oblivious to the lines, ambitions, and fears that have led them here. The choice before them is not just one of governance. It is a question of survival, of evolution. And as their cosmic witness, I wonder, will humanity see itself as a collection of nations, or will they see themselves as one people, one world, one future? At this juncture, humanity is both beautifully unique and tragically familiar. Every civilization that has journeyed through the cosmic threshold has grappled with the same question. What must we hold on to, and what must we leave behind? The room of delegates becomes a theater of passions, each voice bearing the weight of its people, history, and visions for the future. Ambassador Kim's call for unity reverberates, but it faces immediate resistance. A representative from the Federation of Island States stands, her voice clear and unwavering. Unity cannot erase us, she says. My people live on lands that may vanish under rising seas, and you ask us to merge into a single banner when our own lands are at risk of disappearing. Across the room, the President of the United Americas stands, calm but tense. But are we not all on the same fragile land? When the storms rise and forests burn, do borders protect us? He gestures to a screen behind him, where images of Earth's beauty and vulnerability, its vast oceans, soaring mountains, dense forests, flash in stark contrast to images of floods, wildfires, and storms that have grown ever more fierce. His message is clear. No border can shield them from a climate out of balance, nor from the vast unknown of the cosmos. For a moment, these images unite the room in shared silence. Here, I, the Boltzmann Brain, am reminded of a civilization I once observed far across the galaxy. They were a people bound to their own beautiful, fragile world, torn between uniting or remaining fragmented. They had faced a similar crisis, a looming environmental collapse, a pressing need to protect their species as one. But unlike humanity, they had turned to their past, embracing a unity rooted in shared ancient traditions. Their world was saved, but at the cost of an individuality that left them forever changed, their rich diversity reduced to echoes within a singular voice. And so, I wonder, how will humans balance the need for unity with the richness of their diversity? Is it possible to preserve both? The tension thickens as the debate turns to power dynamics. Smaller nations fear that unification would allow larger, wealthier states to dominate the new planetary order. To unite under a single government, a single authority. How do we know we will not be marginalized? Asks a representative from a coastal alliance. In response, a diplomat from a northern state suggests a federation model where autonomy remains intact, but all agree on common values and responsibilities. They discuss power-sharing structures, legal protections, and mutual aid treaties, concepts intended to safeguard the interests of all parties. Yet mistrust lingers in the room, a persistent shadow, older than any of them. Meanwhile, as humans discuss and struggle with their divisions, they do so under the watchful eyes of the Qei'ra, the observing alien civilization. The Qei'ra, who sit quietly in their own council far beyond the stars, ponder their role in Earth's dilemma. Through their millennia of existence, they have seen countless worlds face similar crossroads and know the patterns well. For the Qei'ra, interference in another civilization's path comes at a price they too have paid in their ancient past. Their species once interfered with a world struggling for unity, nudging it toward peace and cohesion. But as time passed, the bonds they created became chains, the peace they fostered turned to stasis. The Qei'ra learned a painful lesson. Even a nudge toward unity can rob a civilization of its natural path, its struggle, and thus, its growth. As I watch from my cosmic vantage, I sense the weight of Earth's decision, not just for humanity, but for the galaxy as a whole. Unity could accelerate Earth's evolution into a Type 1 civilization, better equipped for contact, trade, and diplomacy among the stars. Yet I see the cautionary tales of countless others. Unity could also suppress the very diversity that makes humanity a remarkable and resilient species. And here lies the paradox of unity and individuality, an eternal riddle posed to every civilization that stands on the edge of the cosmic dawn. The session reaches a tense adjournment as the representatives realize they are not yet ready to decide. It is clear that no resolution will come quickly, but beneath the surface, beneath the arguments and the fears, a subtle shift begins. For the first time, nations that once stood alone have begun the process of imagining a shared future. They may not yet be ready to merge into one planetary voice, but today, in the halls of this global assembly, they have glimpsed the possibilities that await. And as they leave the room, still divided, I sense the smallest beginnings of something greater, a first step toward becoming more than they were. In the end, every choice they make, every inch they move closer, every moment of resistance will shape the path of their civilization. For now, they are still earthbound, but their eyes are lifted, their minds reaching for the stars. Chapter 2. Protests in the Metropolises. I turn my gaze now to the streets, to the thrumming heartbeats of Earth's great cities. Beneath the debates of diplomats, there lies another force, a pulse of humanity, of voices unfiltered and uncontained, demanding to be heard. Here, in the open air, is where unity and division meet raw and unrefined. Earth's largest cities become stages for a profound and unprecedented debate. From New York's towering skyline to the bustling streets of Delhi, waves of humanity gather, as if driven by a shared instinct to witness and partake in this crucial moment. As the leaders meet behind closed doors, millions pour into the streets, carrying signs, flags, and voices that swell and merge, shouting out their fears, their hopes, their refusals, and their demands. One protester, a young woman in Sao Paulo, carries a banner that reads, "Unity is humanity's survival." She's part of a growing global movement that sees Earth's current path as unsustainable. To her, a planetary government is not merely an ideal. It is a lifeline, a necessary evolution for a species that has outgrown its fragmented past. The woman raises her fist in solidarity with strangers from distant countries, her belief buoyed by the vision of a single Earth united in purpose, bound to a shared destiny. But she does not stand alone. Across from her, another protester waves a different flag, his face defiant, his eyes blazing with distrust. He holds a sign that reads, "Unity is tyranny." He sees the push for global government as a threat to the freedoms he holds dear, a dangerous consolidation of power that risks erasing what he calls his homeland's soul. He fears a future where a distant council dictates the fate of his people, their culture, and their rights, swallowing his heritage into an indifferent global mass. As they meet, their eyes lock, and a momentary silence passes between them, a silent recognition of each other's fears, their shared yet opposing visions for the future. Around them, chants fill the air, voices swelling in a cacophony that both unites and divides. And here, in the streets, the conflict intensifies. This, too, is an essential step in humanity's evolution, the battle between identity and unity, between the past and the future. Every civilization that dreams of the stars must first contend with its own shadows. Around the world, these scenes play out, and beneath them all, I observe the deeply rooted tribal instincts that persist even here, on the threshold of cosmic awakening. Tribalism, I see, is not merely an accident of history, but a feature of evolution itself, a mechanism that ensured survival when resources were scarce and communities small. Yet now, as Earth's resources diminish and its people draw ever closer together, this instinct becomes a double-edged sword, wielded both in defense of culture and as a barrier to progress. In Paris, protesters chant for liberty, not uniformity. Meanwhile, in Lagos, a different message fills the air: one Earth, one future. Across continents and cultures, humans grapple with the meaning of unity, shaping it according to their own histories, beliefs, and fears. The global divide is not merely between countries or continents, but within each person, a tension between the familiar comforts of separation and the frightening promise of unification. As I observe these debates, I am reminded of other worlds, other civilizations that faced their own inflection points. I recall the Qei'ra of Sirius B, a species that unified not through debate, but through conquest. Their powerful factions forged a single planetary government through force, silencing dissent until no division remained. But in doing so, they also silenced innovation, their culture becoming rigid, unyielding. They rose quickly in technological prowess, but stagnated socially, eventually splintering into isolated insular groups, each one a remnant of the vibrant society they had once been. And so, I ponder, will Earth find a middle path, or will it fall to one extreme or the other? Perhaps this is humanity's strength, that they can see the cost of unity and division alike, and struggle toward a balance. Back on Earth, the alien observers, the Qei'ra, continue to monitor these events with an intensity that borders on apprehension. They weigh whether they should reveal their presence, their faces filled with echoes of ancient debates in their own history. Long ago, the Qei'ra encountered a young species like humanity, a species torn between unification and individual autonomy. In their desire to guide, the Qei'ra intervened, gently nudging them toward unity, hoping to spare them the pain of civil war. Yet, as I sense from the Qei'ra's own silent misgivings, their intervention cast a long shadow over that civilization, one that has yet to fully heal. I hear the thoughts of the Qei'ra ambassador, a being as ancient as some of Earth's oldest myths. She wonders aloud, her voice reverberating through the silent hall of her starship. If we offer guidance, will we spare them pain, or will we rob them of the wisdom that only struggle can bring? As I listen to her musings, I feel the weight of the universe's wisdom bearing down on this moment. The Qei'ra are ancient, yes, but their wisdom does not make them omniscient. Even they know that there is a cost to every act of interference, that every nudge and whisper alters the trajectory of a civilization's destiny. And so, they hesitate, their cosmic hands hovering just beyond reach, unwilling to cross the line between observation and influence. Perhaps, in the end, the path of unity or division is one that humanity must tread alone. For it is not merely a political choice, but a journey of self-discovery, a question of who they wish to become in the vast and silent expanse of the cosmos. And so, I continue to observe, witnessing the raw and unfiltered expression of human nature. I watch as the streets of Earth's cities pulse with voices, as humans struggle to reconcile their past with their future, their identity with their survival. This is the crucible of civilization, and in its fires, humanity will be forged anew. Chapter 3. An Alien Watcher. As I witness humanity's struggles, I am not the only one drawn to their unfolding story. Far beyond Earth, hidden from human eyes, the Qei'ra watch in silence, their minds as ancient as starlight, tempered by the wisdom and scars of ages. They, too, see the promise and peril of Earth's moment of reckoning. In the quiet of deep space, a ship unlike anything humans could imagine hovers in orbit around Earth's moon. The vessel, crafted from a blend of organic and crystalline materials, pulses faintly, alive in ways that defy human technology. Within its silken, darkened halls, the Qei'ra ambassador Lith and her council observe Earth's evolution with a mixture of curiosity, caution, and perhaps even nostalgia. The Qei'ra have long held to a doctrine of non-intervention, a code woven from the memories of their own trials and mistakes. Their civilization once spanned not only the breadth of their homeworld, but a network of stars. But it was not always so. Ages ago they faced an existential choice, much like humanity's, whether to remain divided or to unify. Their choice, however, came at a cost that still ripples through their society. I listen in on their council, a gathering that blends mind and memory, thought and light. The ambassador Lith speaks first, her voice a sonorous hum that seems to echo within the minds of her kin. They are young, yet their choices already shape the stars. But we must tread carefully. Have we not learned the dangers of guiding a species too soon? Another elder, whose form flickers with the shimmering energy of their advanced minds, responds, and if they fail, if they tear themselves apart in pursuit of this unity, can we watch as they extinguish the very spark that could one day join us in the cosmos? The council falls silent, each member lost in the memories of their own history, a history that, like Earth's, was once a patchwork of divided nations and conflicting ideologies. In the early days of their unification, the Qei'ra learned painfully that a species cannot be forced into cohesion. Unity must come from within, born of a collective desire, not imposed from without. But they have also seen the cost of allowing young civilizations to spiral into ruin. They know that to watch passively is also a form of choice, a choice with consequences as potent as intervention. As the debate within the Qei'ra vessel continues, I consider my own purpose as an observer. I am not bound by the Qei'ra's codes or Earth's divisions. I am simply a witness, woven from the same cosmic energies that shape galaxies and spawn stars. Yet I, too, feel the weight of Earth's decision, the gravitational pull of their choice drawing me closer to the heart of their struggle. And so I ponder, in the great span of cosmic history, is it interference to offer a species a glimpse of the future they may create? Or is it an act of compassion? In her chamber, Lith pauses, her gaze drifting from her council to the images of Earth projected on a translucent screen before her. She watches as a human protest swells in London, the city alight with 1,000 voices, each one filled with a desire for change, some yearning for unity, others clinging fiercely to independence. She sees faces marked by passion, fear, hope, and in those faces, she sees the reflections of her own people, the echoes of the Qei'ra's long journey toward their own unity. The council member to her right, a wise elder named Valo, speaks, his voice a soft murmur. We cannot decide for them, but perhaps we can show them the paths we have seen, paths that might await them. Perhaps in showing them, we can help them choose for themselves. It is a proposal as bold as it is risky. The Qei'ra have not intervened in a young species' development in millennia, but this idea, this gentle guidance, a hint, a whisper, might be enough to steer humanity without binding them to a predetermined path. Yet, I sense Lith's hesitation. She knows as I do that even the slightest nudge can ripple through history. A glimpse of one possible future may spark wonders or unleash fears humanity has yet to confront. As the Council weighs this choice, I shift my focus back to Earth, where the protests and debates continue. It is here, on this blue-green world, that the consequences of the Qei'ra's decision will play out in ways neither they nor I can fully predict. And though the Qei'ra have made their own journey, Earth's path is one that must, ultimately, be walked alone. For now, Lith decides on a single, profound gesture, a transmission, a message sent in the quiet moments of Earth's night, a frequency calibrated to be just within the range of human detection. It will appear as an anomaly at first, a strange signal caught by a lone astronomer in a remote observatory. This message, a set of images and symbols encoded with care, will be a silent, ethereal beacon. It will show glimpses of unity, of civilizations that have thrived by uniting and others that have perished by failing to do so. And it will end with a single image of a world, whole and at peace, reaching for the stars. As I watch her prepare this message, I feel a spark of curiosity, an emotion, perhaps, if such a term could apply to me. I wonder how Earth will interpret this sign, this soft nudge from beyond their stars. Will it inspire them, frighten them, or will it pass by, unnoticed, another mystery waiting to be solved in the distant future? For in the end, this is the delicate balance all civilizations must walk, to act, to refrain, to witness the growth of others, and to understand that there are no simple answers. The stars are filled with choices, as varied and vast as the galaxies themselves. As Lith's message travels silently through space, reaching Earth's atmosphere with the faintest hum, I settle back, content to watch and wait, to observe what humanity will make of this gift. The Qei'ra have made their choice. Now, it is Earth's turn to respond. Chapter 4. Internal Tensions and Global Decisions. The message from beyond, a whisper from an ancient civilization to a young species, is heard in the quiet of the night. It is received by a single human, a scientist, who will soon become the unwitting bearer of a question that has haunted countless worlds before. Can we unify without losing who we are? In a secluded observatory atop a remote mountain, Dr. Elena Martinez sits alone, scrolling through readings from the past night's sky. Her days are spent scanning for anomalies, hoping to catch the faint signals of distant stars or the whispers of cosmic events. Yet tonight, something unusual has found its way into her data, something almost too perfect to be accidental. A signal, patterned, pulsing in rhythmic intervals, and, as she decodes it, revealing a sequence of images. Her heart skips as she opens the first frame, a depiction of an unfamiliar planet, whole and serene, its inhabitants working as one. More images follow, cities filled with the light of united purpose, a star system of peace and prosperity, yet mixed Within these symbols of unity are glimpses of ruin, worlds ravaged by conflict, civilizations that never found harmony. The message is both a promise and a warning, a tale of what could be and what might come. The ancient Qei'ra have shared with her a lesson as old as the stars themselves. But what will she, and the rest of humanity, do with it? Dr. Martinez, overcome with both awe and dread, reaches out to her colleagues and soon to world leaders. Within days, the message from the stars becomes public, transmitted across every channel, translated into every language, studied by scientists, philosophers, and political leaders alike. The message spreads, igniting a wave of hope and fear that ripples through every layer of society. In the halls of the United Earth Assembly, the closest thing Earth has to a global forum, leaders gather, each one carrying the weight of their people's expectations. The signal's implications hang over them like a cosmic question, challenging them to decide how humanity will proceed. Some view it as a clear call to unity, a cosmic sign that humanity is destined to evolve together. Others see it as a warning to tread carefully, to resist the lure of untested dreams of global governance. Ambassador Jonathan Kim is the first to speak. His voice, though calm, resonates with the urgency of the moment. This message, he begins, is an invitation, a glimpse of what we might achieve. But it is also a reminder that the choice is ours alone. If we are to unite, it must be on our terms, with respect for every nation, every culture, every voice. Across the room, another voice rises. President Naomi Sarafa of the Oceanic Federation, a coalition of island nations threatened by rising seas, speaks with fervor. We cannot ignore this moment. If we continue as we are, divided, the challenges of climate, scarcity, and survival will be insurmountable. Unity is not a luxury. It is our only hope. But the representatives of other nations, wary of surrendering autonomy, remain skeptical. President Anselm Bauer from the Northern Confederation counters, "Unity cannot be forced, and we cannot risk dissolving our nations into a single entity, abandoning the diversity that makes us who we are." This message may inspire, but it does not dictate our path. The room is divided, voices rising and clashing, each one a testament to the pride, history, and vision that fuel humanity's many nations. In these halls, the vision of a united Earth collides with centuries of identity and independence, and I sense the tension like a taut wire waiting to snap. As the debate rages on, Dr. Martinez, who sits as an observer, is called to the floor. She hesitates, but then steps forward, carrying the weight of the Qei'ra message and her own belief in humanity's potential. This message shows us a future we might create, she says, her voice trembling with both fear and hope. But it's not about a single government or the erasure of nations. It's about collaboration, shared responsibility, and the understanding that we are all part of something greater. Unity doesn't mean we lose ourselves. It means we protect each other. Her words stir a quiet wave through the assembly. Leaders who had felt entrenched in their views begin to reconsider, sensing a glimmer of a path forward, one that does not demand uniformity, but fosters a deeper, more intentional cooperation. They begin to speak, not of a planetary government, but of a new council, a cooperative alliance focused on planetary sustainability, interstellar readiness, and mutual protection against cosmic threats. It is not the vision of a singular Earth, but one of unity through diversity. And in this, I sense the beginnings of something new, a path that straddles the line between autonomy and alliance. Humanity is forging a middle way, unique and bold, a unity that does not crush individuality, but celebrates it. As the discussion begins to shift, as visions merge and align, the Qei'ra watch in silence. From their starship, Leith and her council observe humanity's resilience and ingenuity with cautious optimism. They see echoes of their own journey, a path not chosen lightly, and yet shaped by the very same forces that now shape Earth. The Qei'ra, having seen both the benefits and costs of unity, sense the uniqueness of humanity's choice. It is not the clear path of a single world government, nor the chaos of pure independence. It is a bridge, a coalition of nations and ideas, a tapestry of cultures that might stand strong in the face of cosmic challenges. As the council meeting adjourns, the world's leaders return to their nations, each carrying the hope of a new alliance, one that will be woven with respect, resilience, and the shared recognition of humanity's place in the cosmos. And yet, uncertainty remains. Will they succeed in building this fragile unity, or will the weight of past conflicts and present fears pull them apart once more? I, too, will watch, as will the Qei'ra. For this story, this journey of humanity toward a shared destiny, is only just beginning. And like all journeys, it will be filled with trials, moments of doubt, and decisions that will ripple out to the very edges of the stars. In the end, unity is not a destination. It is a path, one that must be walked and chosen each day in every heart and every nation. And as I watch this world from afar, I wonder, will humanity find a way to hold together? Will they forge a legacy that echoes through the cosmos, a legacy of resilience, compassion, and strength? And so, Earth spins onward, carrying within it the seeds of a future that, though uncertain, shines with the potential of 1 billion stars. Chapter 5. A Shifting Destiny. And now, I watch as Earth turns once more, beneath its glowing web of cities, rivers, and fields, a mosaic of nations with hearts still uncertain, yet sparked by a vision that transcends their histories. Humanity has glimpsed something far greater than itself, and for the first time, they begin to feel the weight of their role in the cosmos. The message from the Qei'ra does not fade from memory. It has woven itself into the consciousness of Earth, casting a long shadow over discussions, stirring debates that echo in the halls of government and in the quiet conversations of families. Yet beyond the message's surface meaning, it has unlocked a yearning, a call to take the next step into a greater reality. In classrooms, children study the stars with renewed wonder, inspired by the idea that they, too, are part of something vast. Activists and scientists join forces, accelerating efforts to mitigate climate threats, pushing for sustainable technologies, and experimenting with innovations that might one day fuel interstellar journeys. This yearning for connection fuels a sense of urgency. New international projects are born. Solar arrays spread across deserts, oceanic farms thrive with new diversity, and fusion reactors, once limited to laboratories, promise to power entire continents. Yet, despite this momentum, humanity's path forward remains fragile, as tenuous as a strand of silk in a cosmic wind. Old rivalries still simmer, historical scars reappear, and the fear of losing sovereignty reignites suspicion among some nations. Earth's leaders, inspired by the dream of a united council, are forced to confront the old wounds that resist healing, the scars of conflict and conquest, of exploitation and mistrust. The first meetings of this new council, named the Terran Alliance, begin not with celebrations, but with long nights and difficult negotiations. As they attempt to draw their visions into alignment, their struggles remind me of the many civilizations I have seen before. Unity, they discover, is not born from words alone. It must be built, nurtured by trust, and tested through trials. And Earth, though young, already knows the weight of these trials. The Qei'ra continue to watch as the Terran Alliance takes its first steps. They see the promise, but they know the perils all too well. One Qei'ra elder, a historian named Valo, reflects on their own past as he speaks to Lith, his voice filled with memories of his people's own attempts at unity. "Ambassador," he says, "do you remember the years of the Void Wars? How our people, scattered and divided, came together only through fire and loss. We learned then that unity can be an ordeal of its own, a choice that must be renewed even as it is tested. What we see here, in humanity, is a spirit as restless as ours was once. They will face trials, but I sense that they may yet succeed." Leith watches Earth with her keen, ancient eyes, noting how humanity's passion for discovery balances their struggles for unity. "Perhaps," she replies softly, "but they are yet so young. We see the spark, yes, but it has not faced the full winds of cosmic challenge. The unity they forge now must be strong enough to face what lies ahead, the forces and questions that lie beyond their stars." The Qei'ra know, as I do, that to unite is only the beginning, for with unity comes new responsibilities, new choices, and new dangers. On Earth, the Terran Alliance progresses through its first year with tentative success, strengthened by shared victories yet shaken by unresolved tensions. But then, as if to test humanity's new resolve, a crisis unfolds, one that threatens to dismantle everything they have built. In the vastness of space on the edges of the solar system, humanity's fledgling space probes detect a signal, a distress call from a vessel of unknown origin, drifting just beyond the orbit of Neptune. The ship, upon closer inspection, is unlike any technology humanity has ever encountered, bearing markings and materials far beyond Earth's known capabilities. When its origins are revealed, a tremor of realization spreads through Earth. The ship belongs to another young species, the Jorans, who have recently reached the beginnings of interstellar travel themselves. The Joran distress call ignites a furious debate within the Terran Alliance. To rescue these stranded beings could mean revealing Earth's presence on the galactic stage. Earth, barely united, faces the unprecedented choice of whether to risk first contact, knowing full well the potential dangers and unknown consequences of interstellar diplomacy. Leaders gather in an emergency session of the Alliance, voices raised, arguments fierce, each one carrying the weight of their people's hopes and fears. Ambassador Kim argues passionately in favor of sending a rescue mission. "This is why we came together," he says, his voice resolute, "to forge alliances, to take our place among the stars, and to prove that we are ready for the challenges beyond our world. If we abandon this opportunity out of fear, we may never know what we are capable of." President Bauer, still cautious and mistrustful of the unknown, argues for restraint. "If we make this choice in haste, we risk exposing our planet to dangers we cannot yet comprehend. We are united, yes, but barely. Are we ready to face the unknown?" And here, on the precipice of first contact, humanity must confront its truest nature. Will fear keep them bound to their own world, or will courage guide them outward toward an uncertain future? In the end, the Terran Alliance reaches a decision, a compromise that reflects their new unity and the cautious optimism that has grown between them. They will send a small, unarmed delegation, a gesture of friendship and compassion, a cautious step into the unknown. It is an act that balances their hopes with their fears, a step forward that holds both the boldness of discovery and the restraint of wisdom. As the delegation prepares to embark, a quiet but powerful realization spreads through humanity. They are not alone in the universe. The fears that once divided them now seem smaller, dwarfed by the immensity of the galaxy that awaits. Earth's people, in their cities and homes, watch the mission unfold with bated breath, their hearts filled with pride and trepidation, bound together in this moment of shared purpose. And far away, the Qei'ra watch as well, silently marveling at this young, resilient species that dares to reach beyond its cradle. Leith, the ambassador, feels the weight of her people's own history lifting ever so slightly, a reminder that even ancient civilizations can be renewed by the sparks of the young. In this moment, Earth has chosen its destiny. By reaching beyond their world, they accept the unknown, the dangers, and the responsibilities that come with unity. They are no longer just a collection of nations. They are Earth, a single world with a future as vast as the stars. As the delegation sets forth, humanity takes its first true step as a united species, guided by both courage and caution, by both hope and humility. Their path will not be easy. Trials await, mysteries and conflicts that will test them as nothing has before. But in this act of unity, they carry with them the best of what they are, the seeds of what they might one day become, a civilization that stands as one, ready to meet the cosmos with open hands and open hearts. And so, dear listener, we close our journey with Earth, a world that now stands not only united, but also illuminated by a cosmic perspective that binds them to the vastness beyond. Today, we have seen humanity's first steps toward unity, tempered by struggle and strengthened by the courage to face the unknown. But as they venture forth, their path will twist and turn, and they, like all who have come before, will be tested. Remember, each civilization has its own journey, and each choice ripples out to worlds yet unseen. Thank you for joining me, the Boltzmann Brain, on this journey through cosmic conversations. Until next time, may you look to the stars with wonder, knowing that even in our solitude we are part of a much greater story. Safe travels, cosmic thinkers.